Welcome to Mythical Lights. Imagine one day the sun in the sky gets very angry and decides, forget it, I'm getting into a cave and I'm not going to come out. What's going to happen? Chaos. Well, that's exactly the story. That is a foundational story in Japanese mythology. And this story is called Amaterasu and the Cave. It's an intriguing story with many interesting elements and a story that you must listen to. And I'm going to tell you the entire story in just a couple of seconds. So don't go anywhere, I'll be back. So in Japanese mythology, when the heaven and the earth was being created, there were two primordial deities, the original deities, gods, called Izanami and Izanagi. Izanagi was the man, Izanami was the woman, and they were the ones who were tasked with creating all of creation. So they had this divine spear, a bejeweled divine spear which was given to them by the heavens, and with this spear they had to stir the chaos that was all around and create. So they stirred the chaos that was there with the spear, and Onogoro Island appeared. And by all of Japan was created. Mountains, rivers, animals, everything was created. And they also gave birth to other gods and deities. But between Izanagi and Izanami, tragedy struck. When Izanami gave birth to the fire god, the heat and the fire was so much that she perished during childbirth. So the death of Izanami made Izanagi very sad. He was devastated to the level that he decided he will go to the land of the dead, known as Yomi, and bring her back from there. So he traveled to Yomi, which was a very defiled place. There was all kinds of demons and creatures there, and he took a torch and started looking for Izanami. Finally, he found Izanami. He talked to her. Izanami told him, "Don't look at me. I'm going to try and get out of this Yomi, land of Yomi. I'll talk to the god over here. Though I have eaten from the land of Yomi and I can't go, but I'll try. But don't look at me." But Izanaki waited, and then he took his torch and started looking for Izanami because he got impatient. And then he saw Izanami, and she was absolutely a putrefied corpse. There were worms coming out of her. Her skin was decayed. She was almost a skeleton. He was terrified. He ran from there, and Izanami became very angry that Izanagi is running away and tried to send demons behind him to stop him. But he ran off, came out of the cave which went to the land of the Yomi and closed it with a boulder. And therefore, he separated the living from the dead. After he fled from that cave, he felt defiled himself because he had gone into a land that was evil and defiled in every way. So he wanted to do a ritual cleansing. So he went to the mouth of a river and he bathed over there. And as he bathed, he thought about Izanami, and tears came out of his eyes. And from those tears were born two gods, two deities. One was Amaterasu, the god of sunlight, of brightness, of light. And the other was Tsukuyomi. Tsukuyomi was the god of moonlight and night. And from his nose came out one more god, and that was Susanoo. And Susanoo was a fiery, unpredictable, rebellious kind of a god. And he was the one who would be in charge of the oceans, the tempests and the fury and the storms of the oceans. Amaterasu was in charge of the heavens and earth and giving light everywhere. She was a very, very highly revered and respected god. Tsukuyomi was the one who was the god of the night and was calm and peaceful and like the moon. But Susanoo was a problem. And wherever he went, he created havoc. He destroyed things and he behaved very badly. And at one point, he became angry with everything, and especially with with Izanagi, the main god who created him, his father. He went and told him that, he doesn't want to stay there in heaven. He wants to go to the land of Yomi and be with his mother, Izanami. And Izanagi got very angry and was very upset with his misbehavior and banished him. So he was banished to earth. But before he went to earth, leaving the heavens, he said that he wanted to meet his sister, Amaterasu. And he wanted to just say bye to her. But actually that was not his complete intention. So anyway, he went to meet Amaterasu in her abode. And there, as things went about, there was a friendly duel and they started to fight. And Amaterasu broke Susanoo's sword into three pieces, and three women came out. There were three gods, three deities, three women came out. And then Susanu took the beautiful jewels of Amaterasu and through them created five boy deities. And once that happened, then Susanu told Amaterasu, look, I have created five of them. I am the winner. But Amaterasu said, wait, I broke your sword and three women deities came out. So three are yours. Those five are mine because they came out from my jewels, my pearls, my heavenly divine jewels. So I am the winner. Susanu, being the way he is, got very angry and started to misbehave. He started to wreck Amaterasu's abode. He threw filth all around. He started breaking things. He destroyed the paddy crop. And then, to make matters worse, when Amaterasu was upset by all this, she cleared up whatever she could and she went to see the Hall of the Weavers. This was the place where divine weavers were making clothes and garments for the gods. And Susanu, what he did was, he took a horse, flayed it, removed its skin, a young horse. It was a terrible torture. Killed it like that and then threw it into the Hall of the Weavers. And when it fell amongst the weavers, one of the weavers was so terrified, upset and grieved by what she saw that she actually died. And this was the last straw, and Amaterasu got very upset, very angry. She was deeply aggrieved. And she decided at that moment that she was going to leave from the heavens and the earth and she was going to go into a cave and stay there forever. So Amaterasu went to the heavenly rock cave. Entering it, she took a huge boulder and closed the mouth of the cave. Decided never to come out. Immediately there was chaos in heaven and earth because light, the sun, everything disappeared. Everything was plunged into darkness. The crops stopped growing. Wild creatures started to come out. And it was just chaos everywhere. Everything was falling apart. Then all the gods came together and they decided that if Amaterasu continues to live in the cage, everything is just going to go bust. The whole world and the heavens will fall apart. There will be decay. Everything will be darkness and evil. So they had to get Amaterasu out of the cave, the heavenly rock cave. So all the gods got together and they decided that they would have to do lots to get Amaterasu back out of the cave. So one of their main plans was that they're going to try to make Amaterasu think that another deity has been discovered, another deity has come into the scene who is brighter than she is and who can create sunlight and day just like her, even better. And how would they do it? All of them got together with different things to recreate this whole ruse of trying to get Amaterasu out of the cave. Omyo Kane, the god of wisdom and strategy, told everybody, all the other gods, that we have to now go to the cave, the heavenly rock cave. And there we have to do something that will make Amaterasu think that there is a big celebration, festival and happiness all around because a new deity has come. So he asked all the gods to gather together amazing and heavenly artifacts and things that would make this happen. Three of the most important artifacts that they got together was a sacred mirror, which was made out of bronze and that could actually reflect the beauty and power and the brilliance of Amaterasu. And the second thing was divine jewels. These were shining jewels that would be placed around the mirror to give a feeling of lot of light and dazzling effects. And the third thing was divine torches that would be carried by some of the gods to recreate daylight, the day like it was at the time of Amaterasu. So everybody gathered there, and the goddess of mirth and revelry, Ame no Uzume, played a very important role. So what she did was, she started to dance. She took a wooden tub, upturned it, and then stood on the tub and started to dance. And godly things happened and she got into a trance and she loosened her clothes and she danced very provocatively and she started thumping the tub with her legs to create a beat, and suddenly the atmosphere was transformed and all the gods were absolutely amazed by what was happening, and they started to laugh and enjoy, and the atmosphere became really festive. It seemed like there was a festival going on, that everybody was celebrating. And Amaterasu inside the cave, since all of this was happening right outside the cave where Amaterasu was, she heard it. She heard the laughter. She could feel that something was going on. There was a festival going on. And she wondered in her grief and sadness that how come when I am here, the goddess of light, the sun, I am sitting here in this cave, how come there is so much of festivity going on outside? What is going on? It piqued her curiosity. Whereas outside, all the gods increased their revelry and their laughter and happiness. Finally, Amaterasu opened the boulder a little bit and peeked outside. And what did she see? She saw the mirror, the divine mirror, and something shining over there. And people were saying, "Oh, there is a greater deity than Amaterasu now." That made her even more curious, and she moved the rock aside and came out and saw the reflection in the mirror of whom? Of herself. And she was like amazed, who is this deity? And there was light everywhere, it was like daylight. And at that moment, the strong god who was hiding nearby came over there, quickly pushed the boulder and closed the cave, the mouth of the cave, and pulled Amaterasu out. And another god, Futotama, took a sacred thread and put it around the cave so that Amaterasu could not go back. Amaterasu came out and realized that the reflection was none other than herself. She realized that she was the one who was giving light and life to all of heaven and earth. She realized her importance and her place in this entire cosmos, and she decided that she cannot just go and hide in a cave. She has to be here and make sure there's light and sunlight for life and everything to go on. And everything went back to normal. Suddenly the whole earth was back to living, and the crops started to grow, the winds and oceans calmed down, and everything came back to normal and balance was restored. And this is the story of Amaterasu and the cave. This story of Japanese mythology has so much in it. One of the main lessons that we can take away from this is that when we feel that we are so aggrieved and upset that we have to go and hide somewhere, it is at that moment that we must gather our strengths, look inside, and find out our own divine selves, the wonders inside us, and then come out of that cave and be stronger and realize our importance. Also, we must know that our place in this world is not to hide away anywhere, but to be there because others also need us. There is always a way out of even the worst darkness. There's always a way out where you find a way out and find purpose. And of course, when all the gods came together, only then they could get Amaterasu out of the cave. So collaborating, working with others for a bigger purpose is something great. So I hope you enjoyed this pretty amazing story from Japanese mythology that I really loved. And do like, share and subscribe to this channel, because I'll be coming back with many more stories like this from all kinds of cultures all over the world, from different mythologies. So I'll see you next time.